You walk into your living room. It looked fine yesterday, but this morning, something feels off. There is a jacket on the chair that was not there last week. The kitchen counter has gathered things you cannot explain, and that low, tired feeling settles in again. Not because your home is dirty, not because you were lazy, but because nobody ever taught us how to keep a home from slowly slipping away from us. And if you are over 65, that feeling can hit differently because the energy is not the same as it used to be. And the big cleaning sessions that used to solve everything, they do not come as often anymore. Here is what I want you to know before we go any further. You do not need a whole Saturday to feel on top of your home. You need 10 minutes a day, 9 steps, and I am going to walk you through every single one of them. Stay with me to the end, because the last step is the one most people skip. And it is the one that makes all the others feel worth it. Welcome back to Silver Life Hacks 65 Plus. This channel is for women who want their home to feel calm, manageable, and genuinely theirs again. No pressure, no perfection, just small, steady habits that actually work. Let us begin. Step 1. Make the bed first. The very first thing you do in the morning sets the tone for the whole day. Not coffee, not the news, the bed. Pull the covers up. Smooth the surface. Set the pillows in place. It takes about 90 seconds, and yet when you walk back into that bedroom later, the whole room looks and feels cared for. A made bed is the single largest visual surface in most bedrooms. When it is neat, the room reads as peaceful, even if nothing else has been touched. There is something else this step does that most people do not talk about. A made bed quietly tells your brain that today is being handled. It is a small agreement with yourself. Do this right after you get up, not after breakfast, not after checking your phone, right away. If bending down is hard some mornings, just sit on the edge of the bed and smooth things from there. The goal is not a hotel finish. The goal is the signal it sends. Step 2. Reset the kitchen after every use. The kitchen collects disorder faster than any other room, and because we walk through it so many times a day, we see the mess many times a day. Here is the habit that changes everything in there. After every meal, after every cup of tea, after every time you use the kitchen for anything at all, take 2 minutes before you leave the room. Wipe the main counter. Clear what does not belong there. Make sure the sink is empty, or at least rinsed. That is it. The timing matters. Do it while the kettle is still warm. Do it while things are still fresh. Waiting until the end of the day means walking into a kitchen that has been piling up for hours. 2 minutes after each use means the kitchen never really gets away from you. If standing at the counter tires you out, keep a stool nearby. Wiping a surface seated works just as well as standing. The habit is what matters, not the posture. Step 3. Clear the chair that holds everything. Every home has one. A bedroom chair that has not been sat in for months. A corner of the sofa that collects whatever comes through the door. A spot at the bottom of the stairs that has become a small pile of undecided things. This step is not about eliminating that spot. It is about visiting it once a day and making 2-minute decisions. Pick up each item. Ask yourself one question. Does this belong somewhere else? If yes, put it there right now. If you genuinely do not know, give it a temporary basket nearby. That basket becomes the holding place. The pile goes. The basket stays tidy. The best time for this is in the early evening, right after dinner, before you settle in for the night. The things that keep coming back to that spot are telling you something. They do not have a permanent home yet, and finding them one is the small fix that stops the clutter from coming back. Step 4. The daily floor walk. Floors are easy to overlook. We walk on them, but we rarely look at them directly, and that means they can quietly collect things without us fully noticing. A pair of shoes left by the door, a bag set down in the hallway that was only supposed to be there for a minute, a magazine slid under the coffee table, a basket of laundry that has been temporary for 3 weeks. This step is a slow, room-by-room walk through your home. Not vacuuming, not mopping, just clearing. Pick up anything that does not belong on the floor and return it to where it lives. It takes 3 to 4 minutes for a whole home, and the difference it makes is immediate. A clear floor makes a room feel larger and easier to move through. For anyone whose balance or knees are not quite what they used to be, a clear floor is not just pleasant, it is genuinely safer. The best time is in the morning after breakfast, when the light shows the floors clearly. A reaching tool with a grip makes this completely manageable if bending is difficult. A small wheeled cart can carry things from room to room without extra trips. This is about attention, not athleticism. Step 5. Surfaces at their lightest. The coffee table, the top of the dresser, the windowsill, the dining table. These surfaces were meant to hold a cup of tea, a good book, a small vase of something pretty. But over time, they collect things that were never meant to stay. A receipt here, a remote control there, a small pile of items waiting to be dealt with. Once a day, take a slow walk past the main horizontal surfaces in your home. Not to clean them, but to return them to their proper state. Pick up what does not belong there. Wipe briefly if needed. The goal is that each surface holds only what is meant to be there. Cluttered surfaces create a low, constant visual noise that the mind has to process all day, even without realizing it. Clear surfaces quiet that noise. Rooms feel more restful. Time spent in them feels more peaceful. This is one of the most powerful and least discussed benefits of a daily tidying routine. Step 6. The drawer you reach into every day. Most drawers in a home work fine, and then there is that one. The kitchen junk drawer, the hallway catch-all, the bedside table that has quietly become a small archive of things that once mattered and now simply exist. This step is not about emptying every drawer in the house. That is a project for another day. This step is only about the one drawer you open the most. Give it 3 minutes. Remove anything that does not belong. If the drawer tends to gather small, loose things, give those items a small container inside the drawer so they are contained instead of scattered. Do this once a week, not every day, but every day, close the drawer with a little intention. Do not just push it shut. When the drawer you use most is easy to navigate, something shifts. Using the kitchen feels lighter, small frustrations disappear, and the time you used to spend searching for scissors, gone entirely. Step 7. The evening reset. Evening is its own kind of time. The pace slows, the light changes, and the home that has been lived in all day begins to show the marks of that living. This step is a gentle 5-minute walk through the main rooms before the day ends. It is not cleaning, it is not ambitious tidying. It is more like putting the home to rest, the same way you put yourself to rest. Glasses go back to the kitchen. Blankets are folded and returned to the sofa. Shoes go to where they belong. The remote is placed on its proper surface. Lights that are not needed are turned off. The best time is right after the evening meal, before you settle in for the night. It can be done slowly, unhurried, as a pleasant wind down. 1 cup of tea and a quiet walk through the rooms. The mistake people make is leaving this for the morning. But when you wake up to a home that still holds all of yesterday, the morning begins heavy. When you wake up to a home that was returned to itself the night before, the morning begins fresh. That difference is real, and it is worth the 5 minutes. Step 8. The waiting spot. In every home, there are things that are waiting. Waiting to be returned to a neighbor, waiting to go to the charity shop, waiting to be moved to another room. These things are not exactly clutter. They have a destination. They just have been waiting for a while. And without a system, they spread across corners, chairs, and the spot by the front door until they feel permanent. Here is the fix. Choose one single spot in your home as the designated waiting place. A basket near the front door works well for many people. Anything that needs to leave the house goes there. Anything that needs to go to another room goes there temporarily. And once a week, on a day you choose, go to that spot and move at least one thing forward. 1 item to a neighbor, 1 bag to the car for the charity shop. The basket becomes small and manageable. The hallway stays clear. And the feeling of things being managed rather than managing you, that feeling is worth more than it sounds. Step 9. the 60-second pause. This is the smallest step in the entire reset, and in some ways, it is the most important one. After you have done the other steps, whether all 8 or just the 3 that belonged to today, stop. Stand in the main room of your home. Look around slowly. Notice what is different from an hour ago. See the clear counter in the kitchen. See the floor with nothing on it. See the surfaces resting. Let yourself see what you have done. Do not rush this. Let it land. Most of us are wired to scan for what is still wrong. This step trains the mind to notice what is right, what has been returned to order, what is calm, what is yours. This moment is how the work becomes real to you, not in the doing, but in the seeing. And the pride that comes from that is not about perfectionism. It is about showing up for your home. Not a solution to everything, not a cure for years of accumulated things waiting for a longer afternoon, but a steady, quiet practice that keeps the surface of daily life from overwhelming you. You do not have to do all 9 steps every day. On the hard days, do 3. On the good days, do all 9 and enjoy that pause at the end. The home will meet you where you are. One question before you go. Which of these 9 steps feels like the right one to start with today? Leave your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video helped you, a quiet thumbs up goes a long way. It helps more women over 65 find this channel. And this community grows through exactly those small, steady gestures. See you in the next one.